Joby.
Yeah, it's a Joby. All right, guys. Well, here it is. I'm with Aaron Martens, professional angler. He's here at the Fun and Sun Boat Center, and I'm going to ask you 5 questions. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, what is the thing that you most like about being a professional angler?
Probably getting to travel and fish all different parts of the country, which is probably an old answer. 'Cause I think that's a lot of our favorites. But that's gotta be mine. And talking to, I have a couple, of course, kids and stuff. But really, get to fish all around the country.
Yeah,
and I actually world too.
Yeah, that would be
Fish
awesome.
Spain and Japan and
Australia?
not Australia, but I've been to like 3 countries.
I've been seeing those cod here lately. Those are crazy looking. So next question is, what is your least favorite thing about being a professional angler?
Oh man, least favorite thing. I'm trying to think of the negative very often. I guess the demand on family time.
Yeah.
The time away from home. It's their schedule and the shows that we do and away from home time is probably by far the least favorite part of it.
Yeah, I can see that. That would be tough.
Yeah.
Another question is, for young people that are getting into the sport of fishing and they're trying to get sponsors, what is a good way for people that are just starting out trying to get those sponsors out? How do you do that? That's a lot of people ask that question.
I always thought the best way was to actually, you have to fish.
Yeah.
You have to prove yourself before you can even attempt to get sponsors. You can be a really good marketer and be really good in business or selling product and stuff, but that's only going to get you so far. The sponsors these days, there's a lot of competition out there. They want guys that have both, so you definitely need to be a good fisherman. And I always tell kids, just keep focused on it. If you want to do this for a living, just fish a lot and spend a lot of time learning, and don't learn just one technique or one style of fishing. You gotta learn it all if you're gonna fish professionally these days.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that leads into my next question. What is your favorite? I am shaking like a leaf. What is your shaking, man? This thing's heavy. What is your favorite way of fishing?
Favorite all around would probably be cranking.
Deep cranking, shallow cranking? Just any cranking?
I like any cranking, but if I had to pick one kind of cranking, it'd be shallow water. I really like shallow water fishing the best overall.
I thought you were going to say finesse fishing.
I love deep too. I love deep fishing, but I don't really like finesse fishing. I just do it.
You just do it because it helps.
You got to do it. It's very effective, and it's not our favorite. So I don't think it's anybody's favorite on tour, but it's very effective, and you have to do it. So be a good finesse fisherman too.
Yeah, you got to learn it all. He said.
Yeah.
So another question, just random question. What is your favorite pizza?
If I had to pick one at a normal pizza place, it'd probably be pineapple and ham, Hawaiian.
Pineapple and ham. I like pineapple.
Cayenne pepper or crushed pepper all over it.
That's good.
Turn it red.
Well, Aaron, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for answering all your questions.
Hey, thank you.
And guys, we'll ask all the other pros some more questions here in a little bit. Cool. All right, guys, so we're with another pro, and this is Alton Jones, Elite Series Pro, and so we're going to ask him the questions too. So what is your favorite thing about being a bass fisherman, a pro bass fisherman?
Well, obviously, one of the things is that we get to go to the best bass fisheries around the country, and even for sponsors and other opportunities around the world during the off season.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And fish for bass and get paid for it. I mean, I have to pinch myself like twice a week to make sure I'm really living this life.
You're living the dream, right?
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
It is.
So that leads into my next question. What is the least favorite thing that you have about being a bass fisherman?
It's got to be the long drives. And that's the hardest part, because there is a lot of travel. It's not like a pro golfer where you can just jump on a plane and 2 hours later you're at your destination, because we've got to take our rigs, our boats and rods and reels and all our tackle with us everywhere. And it helps some that my wife travels with me full time.
Oh, that's cool.
So when I leave home, I'm really, we've kind of made it that home is wherever we happen to be together.
Yeah.
But that's definitely, it's a lot of long hours. I feel like sometimes I need a bumper sticker that says truck drivers need love too, because that's all we really are, is glorified truck drivers.
Well, cool. How many miles do you actually travel a year? Have you clocked it?
Yeah, I put anywhere between 40 and 50,000 miles a year on a truck.
Wow.
So it's quite a few miles.
That is a lot of miles. All right, so one of my other questions is, for the new people that are, younger kids and people that are trying to get into the fishing industry and they're looking to try to get some sponsors. Mm-hmm. When you first started out, mm-hmm. It might have been a little different, but now, what is like some good quality advice for somebody that's trying to get into the fishing industry and get a sponsor?
Well, the main thing with the sponsors, you have to figure out what you can do to benefit that company that you're trying to get to sponsor you, because that's what they're going to pay for. They're going to make a business decision. You're not going to come across many sponsors and say, hey, you're a nice young man, so I'm just out of the goodness of my heart going to sponsor you. While that would be nice, and occasionally an opportunity with a friend may come along like that, it's a business decision for those companies. And so you're selling it to them on how you're going to market their product and what you're going to do to gain them more exposure and more credibility. That's one of the biggest things that we as pros do for our sponsors, is we provide credibility in the marketplace for the products that we're representing. So, Skeeter Boats, for example, if it's good enough for Todd Faircloth, a consumer might say, if it's good enough for Todd, it's good enough for me, or if it's good enough for Alton, it's good enough for me.
Yeah.
So we're showing that we can use this particular product and have great success with it, and that's what you need to do. Now, starting out, don't expect to get a $50,000 contract. If you can get some free product, get some free lures, or even a really good deep discount on lures or rods and reels, I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah, that is a good place to start. So another thing is, what is your favorite technique? What do you love to do when you're out there fishing? What is your passion on technique?
Oh, sight fishing is one of my very favorite techniques. I really enjoy looking at bass, knowing not only am I looking at him, but he's looking at me, and figure out who's going to outsmart the other one.
Yeah, right. That is always fun.
Yeah.
Trying to do that. So, just a crazy question. What's your favorite pizza?
My favorite pizza, actually, it closed down. There was a little place up in Richardson, Texas, called Pizzavilla. It was right off of 75 North. And I've been going there since I was a little boy. My parents used to take us up there every Tuesday night, and they had a thin crust pizza that was out of this world. And they just closed. They didn't sell. It was always a successful business, but the guy was just ready to retire, and he just closed the doors. And I've never found another pizza anywhere in the world that had quite that exact taste and flavor and season of that pepperoni pizza.
Well, cool. Well, man, and
it was cut in squares. That's another thing. I like thin crust
pizza. Who does
pizza.
that? Who else does
cut
that?
in squares.
Campese's Egyptian.
Oh man, that's the greatest pizza. Have you been there?
I have not. What's it
Oh,
called?
Campese's Egyptian
The
restaurant.
Egyptian.
Okay, all right.
It is really good.
Bird and 75.
I'll try it. Maybe they stole Pizzavilla's recipe and I'll be in luck.
They do square pizza.
I always tell people fluorocarbon and braid are more alike than you think, because I've noticed that braid it's so strong, like 30-pound braid, that you can't break it, but it actually breaks really easy with a bad knot, or if you tie a knot with not enough wraps, it's going to slip and you won't even know it. If you have like a tungsten weight that's not what we talked about earlier, if it's not inserted, it can also break braid really easy, like super easy. Well, I guess the way to look at it is, if you take braid and put tension on it and touch it with scissors, it just snaps. So if you have a tungsten weight that's polished, and whatever they say, I mean, polished is better than having a hard edge on it, but even polished, when that weight impacts your knot, it's going to weaken it. So I always I've heard guys using we talked about earlier, little rubber peggets. They can go with it, kind of cushion the knot from the impact of the weight. I use like shrink tubing, and if you guys I would suggest never fishing a weight without an insert on it. It's not that hard to do.
Where do you find shrink tubing that small?
You make it small. I got a video. I got a couple videos.
So go on YouTube.
You go on YouTube. The video is probably 7, 8 years old. I was probably wearing another shirt, Mega Bass probably, but I was probably a lot heavier too. That way I told you about nose hooking, it actually does work really well for coming through brush piles and grass. It actually doesn't hang them. So if you do tend to pull across a brush pile or a log or a stump or something, you can usually just kind of shake it a little bit and it'll climb right over it. Versus a nose hook, which will snag everything in sight. I remember something when I was talking about it. I forgot it, like normal.
Your stretches you're doing?
Oh, that's a good one. I do it all the time. I can't help it. I could show you guys that, because that'll save you some doctor and operations in the future. He's got a good point there.
I get really bad shoulder pains after I fish.
Yeah. A spinning rod, especially, right? Shoulder pains with spinning rods?
Right here. What is like a good stretch to get this right here?
What's a good workout, actually? That's a hard
Workout?
one. No, I used to get shoulder pains, but I fish so much now, and I do so many stretches, I don't get them anymore.
So stretch a lot.
Yeah, I do stay healthy, and I run a lot, which that's my getaway, and that's how I get my relaxation. It's maybe put my headphones in sometimes, but I do like 30, 40 miles a week normally. I'm doing like 12 a week right now, which is pitiful for me. But I stretch a lot too, and the stretching I do is that's actually a good. I want to talk about tackle a little bit. The stretching, some of the stretches I have saved a lot of guys from getting operations. I've learned these over the years, and I do them out of habit. If I'm just standing talking, or I'll just find at the airport or something. I'll just kind of stretch. I'll do some foot stretching and stuff, but I don't know. I'm 44 now, and I feel. If I don't do stretching, if I don't stretch a lot and I stand as much as I do, like my feet have been bothering me, I haven't been stretching as much as I normally do. And that's why I got the sandals on, because my feet were killing me yesterday. Yeah, go on, that's good. He's got sandals too. But the biggest stretch I show people, and I've had a lot of people like come back to me and tell me like it's really helped them is where you cross your hand, like put your fingers kind of like side by side, and then keep your palms planted. Like this part of your hand planted hard, like push on them, and raise your hand up as far as you can like that. And that's like the best stretch for a fisherman. I've showed all my friends that, and I think a lot of the lead guys is saving them. You know, keep your fingers straight and spread your fingers out at the same time, and then bend them up. And then hold it for a typical 20 seconds, and then keep your try to push your pinky in too. So you're always trying to go the opposite direction you want to. Like you want to do this, but you want to do the opposite. So that's what you're doing. And then keep your elbows kind of back, and that's it. That's like one of the best ones. And then you do it invert. Would that be invert, or there's that one? Before you do the other way, you want to shake your hands out really good, because you lose circulation when you do that. Pay attention, I'm telling you. I'm looking away. You got to shake your hands out. That's the goofy part. So if you're in an airport and you're doing this, people start looking at you. There's all the threats now. What's that guy doing over there? I try to hide towards the wall, but you have to do that. If you don't do that, you'll hurt yourself. So you get the blood flow again, and then you do it. So I do it that way. Which way I do it? And then you do it up. So that way, there's that way. I don't think I did that way yet. Sometimes I forget.
You just did that.
Yeah, I feel it. It's good. And then do it backwards. Same way, and then push down. That's the best stretching I can tell you. There's this one, which is really normal. You can do your thumb, and there's one over the head. That's the shoulder one.
That's probably the one I need to do.
Yeah, well, that one, the stretching is. I mean, it's kind of like tying a knot. I mean, I'm telling you, if you fish a lot, you want to stretch a lot, because you do it. Tennis elbow out. Right now, I have no pain anywhere. The only pain I have is in my feet. That's why I go barefoot all the time. If I went barefoot right now, I'd be fine. But I don't want to walk on the floor barefoot. It's concrete.